Hi, so today I'm going to be answering a question that I received about the class, and I'm going to be being a little bit of a traditional salesman with it. And I always discourage you from being a traditional salesman of presenting by going, this is why you have to use us kind of thing. But I honestly don't know how else to answer this question, and I feel this is worth doing just one time. So I'm going to log in and read I'm going to try to paraphrase a bit of a really long email because this email goes on and on for pages. And it's asking why to use this course over others. So it pretty much says, hi, I noticed that you're doing a practical micro soldering and board repair course. I noticed that there are now practical courses being offered in the field of water damage troubleshooting and repair of cell phones by Mentgore, by eTech, by Best, and by Fix Mobile Tech, and many others. So pretty much what is it that you're offering that they're not, and also why does your course actually have a higher fee than every single one of these? Why should anybody go here versus going there? And what is it really that you're offering? Can you be specific here? And the first thing that I feel is really worth bringing up here, and to anybody who's been following this, is let's talk a little bit about the word practical. Jessa started using the word practical to describe a board repair course, a cell phone and a laptop repair course, probably around 5, 6, 7 months ago. And ever since then, there's been like a stream of people afterwards that start using the exact same wording, like literally copy and paste, to describe that course. So let's try to describe what practical is a little bit from. Practical means that when I'm done with what I teach you, that you should be able to sit in my chair and be able to deal with the average issue that comes. And that means that of all the machines that I have here on shelves that I'm actually fixing for walk-in customers and for people who want to give me money for the very thing that I'm trying to teach you to show you how to do, I should be able to teach you how to do that. That's practical. Impractical, for example, would be if I teach you, let's say, through-hole soldering and how to make, let's say, how to make one of those little things where when you put your finger over it, the light goes off or goes on a Radio Shack PC board. That's impractical because you can't really turn that into money. It's a cool thing to know how to do, but how the hell are you going to profit off of it as a cell phone or a MacBook or an Apple, whatever type of repair store? You're not. That's impractical. Practical would be if I show you, let's say, how to use your brain to deduce a no video problem from a no CPU problem, from a no clock signal problem, so that when somebody comes in with liquid damage in their computer, you can say, well, I can fix that for you by taking $300 and then going to your little board repair, your board section and taking your little 17-cent component and putting it on there. That's practical. So I want to talk a little bit about practical, and I want to talk a little bit about some of the companies that got mentioned in that email. So the first company that got mentioned in that email, I believe, is Best. They're actually a pretty cool company. Let's look them up here. So Best is a soldering school and also a company that takes in a lot of business from other places. And they take in repair business, and you may think that that's great. So let's go over here to services on this website. So we're going to go PCB repair. We have BGA pad repair, corner repair, mask repair, pad and trace repair. And again, you have a lot of stuff here. And here's what I want you to focus on. A lot of the stuff that they actually do is monkey work. Is monkey see, monkey do work. Oh, pad is missing. Me replace pad. Oh, trace is missing. Me replace trace. Oh, mask is gone. Me put mask on there. It's not actual troubleshooting. It's simply how is that actually going to help you in terms of diagnostics and troubleshooting to figure out what's actually wrong? Your customer does not give a crap about your ability to reattach a trace, to reattach a wire, to to restore a via. What they care about is, can you figure out which via to restore so that instead of my MacBook going choo, it goes dong when it turns on and allows them to browse the internet and use Facebook and watch porn and do all the stuff that they did before they spilled something on it. That is practical. A lot of the stuff that you're going to see there is kind of monkey see, monkey do kind of stuff. Again, it's good to know how to solder. It's good to know how to replace a BGA pad. It's good to know how to replace a pad, but let's be practical and let's be honest here. Of all the places that do this type of rework, We're not replacing pads. We're running a jumper wire. Replacing a pad is a waste of 5 or 10 minutes of time. When running a jumper wire, it takes something like 3 to 4 seconds and gets you the same result. And, that's practical. That's what people are actually doing. That's what makes sense when you're working on circuits that are this tiny. It's not like, and also, what if that's not the only problem? What if you have other problems with your circuit? What if you have a lot of other issues down the line that you need to diagnose? How is that 20 or 30 or 40 minutes best utilized? Is that best utilized restoring pads that are this tiny instead of running a jumper wire that takes 3 seconds? Or is that time best spent chasing down all those other problems that you have? Again, one of the things that I like to talk about, since this is a practical board repair channel, a practical business channel, a practical life channel, is I give myself 20 minutes for a board repair. I need to see how much of a rabbit hole it's going to be from the start to the finish. I look ahead as often as I can. I try to come up with these little ways to figure out, just temporarily, I put a little temporary solution in place just to see if once that is done, how much stuff in front of it is going to be screwed up. I do that because realistically speaking, when you have a shop that gets in 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 of these things a day, you really have 20 minutes of time to spend on each of them. And if you spend more than 20 minutes of time on each of them, the practical thing that's going to happen is they're going to call up and say, I want it back. They're going to leave a bad review, and after 2 or 3 days, they haven't heard from you. And that's the thing that you need to realize here. Practical. There was somebody mentioned the E-Tech school. This one, man, whoa. Okay, so a company that sells parts magically decides they want to offer a school on how to repair liquid damage on cell phones. From a practical perspective, their job is to hit the little ship button in ShipRush, print out a shipping label, grab iPhone 4 screen off of counter, put it in the envelope, put the shipping label on and ship it to you. And somehow now these people are qualified to teach you how to practically do cell phone repair that you don't know how to do. The company that, when I visited them, asked me if I could help them with a board repair. And when I asked them where your multimeter is, they said, we don't have one. To talk a little bit more about this, again, if we're on the talk of practical and why my course is more money and why you should be spending money on it, that company is also used to be owned by the person who owned Mission Repair, the company that outsources all of their board repair to Asset Genie. You want me to show you how to outsource your board repair to Asset Genie? Let me save you some money right now and show you exactly how this works. You go over to your web browser. You hit Control-K if you're using Firefox like I am. You go Asset Genie Logic Board Repair. Now you make sure that you're on Google and not eBay so that you actually do the search properly. And what do you know? It's right here. And here you go. And you click it. And you can contact them, and you can ask them about Logic Board Repair, and now you're set. You don't even need to pay to figure out how to outsource all your board repair to Asset Genie. But what I'm trying to get you to do is teach you how to use your brain and how to use the tools that are right in front of you to repair boards, not X-ray machines, not FLIR cams that cost $6,000, how to use a little alcohol dispenser in the side of your face and a cheap microscope and a used 30-year-old power supply so that you can do this on your desk without mailing it to somebody else to get it done. Do I even really need to rattle through Mentgore and the other ones that you mentioned? I don't like contrasting and comparing myself to others. I really do feel like it is a lowbrow way to get across a point. And I didn't want to do it, but I know I'm going to get asked this question over and over. And it is what it is, And there was one comment in there that I didn't read, and it was about how, this is being done for the money and blah, blah, blah. Jess has been asking me to do this for like 5 or 6 months. And let me tell you the real reason I'm doing this, because she's really good at motivating. She's really, really good at motivating me to do things that I should be doing and coming up with little things. And when she said, okay, E-Tech has a practical cell phone repair school. Okay, Mentgore has a practical cell phone repair school. Okay, Best has a practical cell phone repair. And when you look at this, and when you see all these people who don't actually run a business doing what it is they're teaching you how to do, there are only so many people I'm going to allow to claim that they can teach you how to practically do a job that they're not doing themselves. That's really all I have to say about it. And if you need to ask again, all I'm going to say is just Google. All I'm going to say, if your follow-up question is, so are you doing it every day, is Google me. Google MacBook Logic Board Repair. Google MacBook Logic Board Repair in New York. Google MacBook Repair in New York. Look at Google Places reviews. Look at Yelp reviews. Look at posts on dozens of forums over the past 6 or 7 years that I've made, where I've been walking people through this step by step, telling them exactly what to do to fix their motherboard when I'm 6,000 miles away and I don't even have a picture to work with. I can't measure it. I can't call you up and talk to you. But within 1 or 2 or 3 posts, I'm telling you exactly what to do and what to fix. How about hundreds of hours of content over here? Again, one of the things I read was about price. You don't want to pay for it? It's free. There are dozens upon dozens of hours of content. Again, how to troubleshoot no CPU vCore, how to troubleshoot no chiming, how to troubleshoot runs off the battery but won't work off the charger, how to troubleshoot won't work off of the battery but works off of the charger, how to troubleshoot doesn't charge the battery, how to troubleshoot doesn't see the battery, how to troubleshoot backlight but no LCD, how to troubleshoot LCD but no backlight, how to troubleshoot no 5-volt rail, how to troubleshoot no 3-volt rail, how to troubleshoot no 12-volt rail, how to troubleshoot when your keyboard doesn't work. This is literally here on a platter being handed to you for free. If you do not want to pay $2,000 for my course, you don't have to pay a dime, because I have taken the time to purchase this camcorder and the microscope camera and the microscope that supports the microscope camera and a computer that will allow me to encode all this video so that I can upload these videos almost every day and make them available to you on YouTube for free so that you can learn. And each one of these videos that's been done, it's not edited to this bullshit little techno music so you can dance as you're trying to figure out how the fuck you're going to fix this shit, because they don't put any instructions on the screen. They don't show you anything. No, it's none of that. It's from beginning to end, uninterrupted, so that you can learn along with me, so that you can learn in the same manner that I wish I could have learned when I was starting this years ago. If you want to pay for a course that's going to teach you how to do everything, $2,000. If you want to pay for a course that's going to make you damn good at what you do, $2,000. If you don't want to pay for the course, it's free. It's all already there. You don't have to pay for it. I put it all up there for free. The only thing that you miss out on is my one-on-one instruction and my one-on-one working with all of you to figure out what it is you don't know and figure out what it is you need to learn in order to get better at it. Because again, I keep mentioning this, a lot of you people, you watch all the videos, but you're missing content that's there, and I need to know what that content is. And in order to figure that out, I need to give you shit to do in person and figure out where you're fucking it up. And that's what I'm offering you with this class. I'm offering you the opportunity to learn from somebody who's actually making money off of this. I'm not making money selling iPhone screens. I'm not making money attaching BGA pads back to fucking remote controls and cash registers. I'm making money doing the exact same thing that it is you want to do. And I'm going to be answering every single one of your questions related to how to make money doing what it is that I do, that you want to do. It's that simple. That is the definition of practical. It's not a buzzword that we're going to use to make as much money as we want in the education industry. I'm just fine where I am. This is not being done for the money. The reason the class has a price is to ensure that people respect it, and to ensure that while I'm not here and during the time that I'm traveling and I'm not making the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that I would if I was sitting in the chair of my business, that I'm being compensated an equal amount somewhere else. One of the things that we had to figure out here was how much money are we going to lose during the time that we're doing this class because we're saying no to doing work here or where Jess is. And that's how we came up with the rates for the course. It really is not about getting rich. One of the paragraphs I didn't read because it was just ridiculous was how it seems like we're in it for the money. I had Vandersteen Model 3 speakers in my apartment. I had TLCS 3.6s here. I had a Zalmao rework machine and a store and a staff of well-paid people. I had all this stuff before I started the class. I'm going to have all that stuff if none of you show up. It's going to be great if you show up and you choose to learn and you want to pay, and that's great. But if you don't, I don't care. I'm not putting advertising into this. You'll see that this class is not even on my company website. It's not something that I'm really putting a lot of advertising effort and muscle into, because the way I make money is off of actually fixing things. It's off of when people say, this doesn't work, can you make it better? The same way that you want to make money off of fixing things, that's where my income comes from. When somebody says, hey, our infrastructure and this system that we have sucks, and I suggest something better that takes a day or two to implement instead of a week, that's what makes me money, not education. And one of the things you got to think about, and this really goes outside of just my class and my company. This really has to do with, this is kind of like a worldview thing. You have to be looking at how people make money and what they're telling you they're good at and really comparing them. and contrasting them and trying to see if everything jives. Because there are a lot of companies where let's say somebody will make, this was in my Story of Play Studios video. This is one woman who made millions and millions of dollars in the elderly care industry. So people were old and disabled. You would go to her facility, you would pay her facility a stupid amount of money, and they would look after your loved ones. There was a lot of money in that, and she made a ridiculous amount of money in that. She met somebody, and she decided to open a recording studio. She used a lot of money to open the studio, and she was able to make this recording studio look really nice because she had all that money. And a lot of people walking in thought, wow, this looks really nice because they have all that money, because they spent all that money on it. And what you have to think about is not, this looks nice, that's cool, wow, they must be great. You should be thinking, what money did they use to create what's in front of me? What do they do, or what did they do to earn the money that they used to create this impressive presentation for me? Was that money that they earned through being amazing producers and recording engineers, or is that money that they earned from the medical industry and now they just want to open a studio because, oh, it's just cool to have a studio? You know, again, the company that I'm using to promote this class is a company that directly makes money doing the exact same thing it is that I want to teach you how to do. And that's something that you should be thinking about when choosing where to learn this stuff from. So, what makes this the most practical board repair course? It's done by people who are already successful in the very same industry that you want to work in. The people who are going to be instructing you are people who actually rely on this for a living every day. Again, if I start to suck at what it is I'm teaching you how to do, I can't fall back on selling parts. I can't fall back on replacing BGA pads and remote controls. No, I'm done for. I'm gone. I'm not paying my rent. I'm selling that camcorder. I'm selling that microscope, and I'm going to live in a cardboard box outside. That is the definition of practical. We are actually doing the things that you want to learn. We're actually doing the things that we're teaching you for a living every day. And we know exactly how it is you're going to have to do them. We know exactly the problems you're going to face, the unique problems you're going to face in the real world, because we're actually in the real world handling them. And overall, above all else, again, if you don't have the money for it, it's already there for free. If you don't have $2,000, if you don't have the time to travel, take an hour out of your day every day, get some popcorn, sit down, start with my first Introduction to Basic Electronics video, start with the first Logic Board Repair video I ever did, take notes as you go through each little portion, create questions, register on Advanced Reworks, go there with all your questions, do some research on each one of your questions, do a little bit of Googling to try to figure out what it is you don't understand, and whatever it is you don't understand after Googling and after viewing all the videos, ask on the forum, and this is all free. This is all a great way for you to learn how to do this at no cost to yourself. And hopefully that helped answer your question. Hopefully that helped set apart what it is that are actually making this class practical versus a lot of these other silly little practical courses that are being made out there. And that's it. Again, why am I doing this course? Really, honestly, money? No. I'm going to be making the exact same amount of money doing this that I would if I simply sat in the chair. Probably less because, again, I'm getting a finite amount of money from people who join the limited small class size, but I can make ridiculous amounts of money if I sit here and get in all the mail-ins, getting all the people who are not going to wait more than a day for their job to be done. But what I am doing this for is because, again, Jessica, every single day, she'd send me a link to another place offering another practical course, and she'd say, do you think these people know how to troubleshoot the CPU vCore rail? And it's like, But that is what it is, and if there are going to be options there that are bullshit, I'm going to be there presenting you with an option that's real. And that's all there is to that.